Hey, Gadget Guy Addict. What I've got today is the Galaxy Book 10.6. Now this is the one with the M3 core processor in it, making that the mobile processor. So this is the smaller Windows tablet they offer. And I've been using this for a couple weeks now. And I wanted to share with you kind of my feelings on what it is, what it's going to do for you, and how best you can use this to make your life better. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to start with a couple things first. First, the design, what it is, what it's going to offer you, and then some of the features that it works well with, and some of the areas that I could see a little bit of improvement. But I'm going to focus solely on this device. I'm not going to compare it with others, just my experience that I've had with it. First of all, this is a tablet. It comes off of the keyboard itself, and as you can see, it wants to ask me if I want it tablet mode. And now we're back. Comes with the keyboard already as part of your package, and the S Pen. And if you're unfamiliar with the S Pen from Samsung, I'll get into that a little bit later on, but that comes with it. So it's a complete package. To include, comes with charger and a USB-C cord. This is an awesome feature, I think. Notice the size of this. I'll show you something about that here in a few minutes. All right, getting into it. Like I said, this is an M3 core processor, meaning that it is not the i3, 5, or 7, which is your higher end processors. This is designed to be really, I would say, for the average consumer, average user. What do I mean by average? About 98% of us. Honestly, if you're not doing video editing, recording studio type stuff, not that you want to do it on such a small device anyway, but if you're not doing those kinds of things and you're doing stuff like you're checking your Facebook and your email and watching YouTube videos and consuming lots of video or audio type of things, average user type of stuff, this is a great device, I think. I'll show you why here in a little bit. Now, if you're doing things like Adobe Pro, Premiere Pro, for those of you that are not unfamiliar with it, you can do that on this device. I found it takes about 4 times longer compared to my couple-year-old desktop that I've built. That being said, you can do it. If you're in a pinch and this is all you've got, you can do it. But that's a whole other world, and we're not going to get into that really a whole lot today. All right, so what do you have here? You've got, turning this off, you've got a Windows device. Full Windows, it's Windows Home. You can upgrade this to Windows Pro if you'd like. Keyboard, touchpad, pen, like I said. This comes with the keyboard being your stand, so you can go completely flat. It is magnetic. You can drop this into a very laid-back position, okay? And you can go even further back. That's about it when it comes to your positioning. It's 1, 2, or 3 being completely flat, and of course the last one is taking it completely off. Now, when you close this up, it is a very small, compact piece. Weight is about 1.6, 1.7 pounds. Pen weighs a whole lot of nothing. And one of the neat features of this pen is there's not a battery in here. So that right there makes this very light, easy to use, and one less thing to worry about. All right, so that being said, you also, in the box, you get this little piece that there's a cutout on the case itself for the pen. So everything's a complete package. Me personally, I really like that idea. I buy the box, in the box comes with everything I ever needed. It's kind of like the old days of, well, not even the old days. It's kind of like when you go buy a printer. It doesn't come with a cable, but I need a cable. Of course, nowadays we've got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so really not a concern. But bottom line is, this is a complete package. You're going to get everything in it. Windows 10. It's full version Windows 10, just like every other laptop PC you're going to buy out there. So what does that mean? You can do it all. If you're a Windows Pro user that you would prefer to have Pro, you can upgrade that. Of course, you're going to pay the price for it. I think it's 99 bucks for the upgrade, somewhere around there. Don't quote me, because I'm sure there's better or less deals out there. So what is this missing over anything else that you might find? Me personally, nothing. You're going to have Wi-Fi with 5 and the 2.4 gigahertz version, AC, so you're going to get the higher transmission rates if you'd like, Bluetooth with just about all the different functionality that you ever want. In fact, it has ADP2 so that you can get the syncing issue if you're using Bluetooth headsets with your video. And you have, of course, the aptX or any of those type of all right, comes with Bluetooth. You're going to get your higher end Bluetooth 4.0. Okay, it comes with Bluetooth. So you've got it all. You've got Wi-Fi, you've got Bluetooth, you've got a long battery. The battery is like 4,000 milliamp battery, and Samsung says that you can get about 9 hours of video watching with that. Now, I would say 7.5 is very reasonable. 8 if you can really push it. What you're not going to get is if you've got the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, and everything else running, and you got the screen brightness all the way up, you're not going to see 8 or 9 hours of that. But what will you see on this? You will see all-day use, in my opinion. All-day use for most of us is not turned on, cramming it out at 100% brightness. If you're carrying this around and you're mobile, you're going to get most of your day with it. If you want to travel and fly on a plane, you're going to get a good life out of this, fly on a plane, because you're probably not going to have Wi-Fi and all the other things turned on since you're not supposed to. All that being said, this is, in my opinion, a great device. It has worked well for these last few weeks. I've even used the pen to take notes and compared that a little bit. I can show you that in a different video. But I can tell you one of the things that I love about this pen, and it's not just like, wow, they designed this amazingly, it's this tip. This tip gives you a feel with just enough friction on it that when you're drawing, you actually feel like this is drawing on paper. And when I say that, I don't mean like, wow, I feel the roughness of paper. I mean that paper offers a little bit of a drag when you're using a pen, whether it's a ballpoint pen or a pencil or something like that. And that's what you feel on this. So that it doesn't just slide along, but it's not so much drag that you're like, wow, this is really uncomfortable and I wish this thing would actually slide across my screen better. It's just whatever materials they used in the tip of this pen, I absolutely love it. All right, so I talked about the battery life. You can get probably all day out of this. So let's say that you don't get all day out of it. What is this thing going to do that you wish it, could do for you? A USB-C charging. Okay, so most laptops out there, even a lot of tablets that are Windows-based. Okay, so most laptops out there, they come with a huge charger. So I give you this small little device, and I give you a huge charger. Let me show you a case in point. That is an extremely small charger for a, also known as a tablet, Surface Pro. Just comparing the brick, that's what you get. Add in your USB-C cord, and that's what you get. Big mess, obviously. All right, so what am I getting at? I get rid of this, which really is pretty light, and I have this and this. So why is this important? This also powers my cell phone. My cell phone is USB-C, okay? A lot of devices are going to USB-C. So I use this one device, or one plug-in, plug it into my device, and then on top of it all, I have fast charging, just like I have on my phone. So I plug it in, and within, 2 hours or so, this thing is ready to rock. So if I am stuck in an airport, I got 20 minutes, I'll probably get enough juice to get myself on a plane for a 3 or 4 hour flight, if this was completely dead. If I started off my day pretty good, plug it in at the airport, hour layover, I'm probably going to be 100% and ready to rock for another 6 or 7 hours across the nation. So that's what I love about this thing. That charger right there does it for me. If there was absolutely nothing else that this could offer me better than any other device, it is the charger. And there's very few tablets out there that are doing this. I think Samsung has really made their point to throw this charger in. That's me personally. All right, so Bottom line on this is I can tell you there's a few things I absolutely love about this, a few things I'm not too keen on. So let me start with what I'm not too keen on. What I'm not too keen on is this stand. Now, I don't know if there's a copyright infringement issue if they make a different kind of stand like some of their competitors, but I can tell you 2 modes, yeah, it's fine. I can see it, no big deal. But I can tell you sitting on a lap, this doesn't really work that well. It's okay, but because of the flexibility of the keyboard here, it doesn't sit on a lap. I think there's a solution for it, but we'll get into that. All right. The other thing I'm not too keen on this is so the other thing I'm not too keen on this is honestly the keyboard. The keyboard sits flat. So when you're typing, and it's not that bad, you can type flat. See here? Not a problem, okay? I'm there. But at the end of the day, when I'm using this keyboard, that whole car. All right, so I've shown you a few things about this device, and I just want to cover kind of the pros and the cons that I see with it. So I'm going to start with the cons because honestly, they're pretty small. And the pros, there are a few things that I absolutely love about this device. So first, the cons are the keyboard. There's a couple things that I really wish this did. One of which is the keyboard was elevated. With a laptop, normally you have just a little bit of elevation, and that works out great. Backlit keys would be a nice improvement because honestly, most of the time when you're trying to work on a device like this, you're probably not sitting in the best locations, like an office. All right, that being said, this kickstand idea, or I guess a foldable piece, I'm not big on this. There are 2 modes, which honestly, they're very worthwhile. It works. But what doesn't work is when this is sitting on your lap, this is the problem with tablets, is they go together, okay? Now, there's other brands that have the exact same problem, but I can tell you that this just doesn't work quite as well on the lap as I would hope. Now, I am comparing that to a laptop in mentality, where the laptop is going to stay put because there's something rigid between the screen and the keyboard. But I got it. It's a tablet. Those are just my pet peeves. So what do I love about this thing? There's a couple things that I really love. First of all, it's the USB charger. You just can't be wrong when you come to USB-C because I can use this on my phone, I can use this on my tablet, and of course as more and more devices come out, you'll be able to use them on that. It's fast charging, so in a couple hours, I'm not worried about it. In an hour, I'm going, yep, I'm ready to rock, let's go. So I don't need a long period of time stuck at a desk to use this thing. Me personally, I think I could probably plug it in the morning, disconnect, run off. And if you're familiar with some of the other devices out there, some of them go like all day. Guess what? I think this is going to go all day for most users. So the other thing I really like about this is the pen. This pen is great. Slides across the screen. I have no problems with it. But it gives you enough friction that it feels like it's on paper. For you get that little bit of drag. And I don't know why, I don't know how, but you know what? It works and works really well. A couple other features that I like, of course, it's a tablet. It's got speakers on either side. I'm not going to rock out to some music, and I'm not going to watch a movie off of these speakers hardly ever. I'm going to plug in some headphones. But if I needed to, at least I have stereo speakers. Got the NFC down here on the bottom, so I can connect my phone to the tablet. I already showed you that. I think it's a great feature because, you're sitting here, you're typing away, and you got your phone over here, and it beeps, and you're like, what? No. It's all on the screen, so you'll know what's going on. All right, so I just talked about this NFC, so I thought I'd take a minute to go ahead and show you how this works. So I've already connected the phone. I'm not going to get into the big details, but I want to show you this is why this is an important little feature that you might use. I just connected my Wi-Fi hotspot on my cell phone from my computer. Because I'm connected, you can see up in the top corner there, it's got the Wi-Fi, and you can see there tethering, and now boom, my device is connected. I did all that from the computer, and I'm just showing you on the phone. So when you connect the NFC, it tells the computer, we need to talk, and then it goes through this Samsung Flow connection so that you can connect between the 2 devices. Now, I just sent myself an email, and on there it's showing on my screen that I have. It showed up twice for some reason because it also showed on my phone twice. When you click on it, all you're going to get is the title. You're not going to get any more details. I'm not really keen on that aspect, but that's what it does. The other thing that you can do is you can move files from your computer to your phone. So between the battery life, the charger, the pen, it's all included, an entire tablet piece. For me, I think with Windows, they really knocked it out of the park with this. And this is for the average user, I think. And if you are a power user, you're not going to be looking at this model. You're going to be looking at the higher end models, the slightly larger 12-inch ones. But the thing I absolutely love, and this is where it really gets into what is this going to do for me? I tell you, this, I was able to do some video editing on it. Now, it was not fast, but here's what I loved. There's no fan built into this. This is a mobile processor, which means it starts and it just keeps on trucking. And it wasn't a hot box. I didn't feel like I was going to burn myself on the back, holding on to it. So when I started something with this, it just moved and it kept on moving. Instead of that, it got too hot and it starts slowing down and the processor stepping down and all that. Just found that the mobile processor was a great solution, which is where you get your awesome battery life, and that's where you can just get things done all day long. So if you've got one of those high-end processors in one of these type of devices and it starts to overheat and you're typing along and you don't see any words, it's because the processor had to step down. So I really actually love the mobile processor. Not keen on how low powered it is, when I want to do the high-end stuff, but at the end of the day, if I'm doing all my regular stuff, this is working out great for me. So, if you're an average user, great device. So you may notice a difference. I've changed shirts. And the reason for that is actually I made the first part of this video a few days ago. And before I was able to finish editing, one of the things that I found was some people were complaining about battery life of this device. And I wanted to really test it out. So today I spent the first half of the day, I spent 5 hours with my screen on, taking notes, reading PDF files, things like that. I had the Wi-Fi on where I could connect to the internet. I didn't do a lot of internet surfing, but I pulled up a few files and a few websites. Didn't do any video or anything like that. And the whole time I had this on battery or energy save mode, I guess, so that I would get the best battery life possible. So here's what I found, and you probably can't see it from there, but when you go into here, you'll find that your icon has a little leaf on it, and that means you're in battery save mode. It shows 45% and it says 4 hours and 28 minutes to go. So I used this for, give or take, 5+ hours, 4 hours and 48 minutes to go. That fluctuates because just a few minutes ago it showed 1 hour and 46 minutes and it had 46%. So when you put this on the energy save mode, what you're going to find is that this thing is drastically improved for battery life. No, it's not going to be overly bright. No, you're not going to be sitting there playing video games on it. But if you're doing functions like office type things, working in school, taking notes, which is what I did for this morning, this thing really works well. I think that's what the design behind this was, is this functions great for the average consumer that's trying to do some stuff. You're going to sit on your couch, you're going to surf the internet, it's going to work great. You're going to go into an office and you're going to take notes during a meeting, it's going to work great. That's my experience, at least at this point. So, bottom line is, I think that if you are using this for its designed and intended purpose, you're going to enjoy it. If you want more out of this, this is probably not the device for you. It's got a lot of great features, and another plug for this pen, I really enjoyed using this pen all day. It worked well. In fact, one of the ways to keep my screen on is I just rested the pen on it. Of course, it would be flat. Resting my pen on it, the screen noticed the pen was in connection, and so it left the screen on a lot longer. So that's a plus or a minus depending on who you are, but I can tell you, for me, it helped keep the screen on during that time. But you know what? I think it's a great device if you're using it for the intended purpose. So go with that and pick one up if you are interested. So I just want to say thanks for watching the video, and I wanted to add this extra piece in because I thought it was important after reading other reviews about how people were not getting very good battery life and then others were. I wanted to see why that aspect was happening. So if you're with me and you would like to leave some comments, please do that down below. If you have interest in watching other videos similar to this, then go ahead and hit subscribe. And of course, if you enjoyed my videos, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It's Gadget Guy Addict. Thanks a lot.